Muhammad Umar Farooq Biological Video. Please make sure to subscribe, like and share. Ask the question for answer and comment about the artwork. You can also answer question to each other for solving the problem. Hello, today we will discuss about the glucose-alanine cycle. The glucose-alanine cycle means the glucose convert into the alanine. Alanine is the basically amino acid. So we will discuss about the that glucose will convert into alanine in this cycle. So here is a muscle which that contain a muscle protein that is known as the group of amino acids. So this is the muscle which that is the skeletal muscle contain a bones looking like this, and that is muscle contain branch chain amino acid here, and also glycogen storage of the glucose into the glycogen. So whole this process and mechanism of the glucose-alanine cycle we'll discuss here. So here is the blood vessel, which that is the animal blood vessel, basically circulatory system contain blood vessel. So that's blood vessel contain a sugar. That sugar go into the muscle for using as a energy, or go into the glycogen formation. So here is the GLUT4 channel, which that is used for the uptake of glucose into the myocyte. So this is a muscle which contain myocytes. Myocyte means muscle cells. So the glucose will enter into the muscle and either go into the glycogenesis to form glycogen, or go into the glycolysis pathway to convert pyruvate. So 2 pyruvate will be formed after the 1 glucose breakdown. So this is known as this type of metabolism is known as the catabolism, because larger molecule convert into the smaller molecules. So on the other hand, here is the branch chain amino acid transferase enzyme used to produce branch chain amino acid. So this branch chain amino acid catabolism to produce glutamate, and this glutamate we will discuss here. So this glutamate is used for the pyruvate to produce alanine due to the pyridoxal phosphate vitamin B6, which that is used also with the help is known as the coenzyme, is attached by the alanine amino transferase enzyme to produce alanine. So the alanine formula is looking here discussed. So here is the glutamate, which that is converting to the alpha ketoglutarate. So this alpha ketoglutarate will pick the ammonium ion to produce in the presence of glutamate dehydrogenase enzyme to pick the ammonium ion to produce glutamate again, and this cycle will continue to produce alanine more and more. So the ammonium ion, excess of ammonium ion is too much toxic in the human body. So why we will discuss in later in this video. So that is the glutamate synthetase enzyme used to glutamate to produce glutamine. So this is the another amino acid which that is produced by the using of ATP to convert ADP. So this glutamine is also the amino acid which that's also produced. So this alanine and glutamine, which that is the non-essential amino acid, which that mean our body will produce itself, not dietary amino acids. So here is the liver, which that is the central metabolic part of the body, is known as the liver. Liver made up of two lobes, is smaller and larger. So here is the alanine, which that's transport into the liver from the muscle. So this alanine will convert by the using of alanine aminotransferase enzyme, by the using of alpha ketoglutarate to convert glutamate. Why? Because ammonium ions will separate from the alanine. So after the alanine is not required, that's converted into the pyruvate. So these two molecules of pyruvate will be formed by the two alanine molecule react with the alanine aminotransferase enzyme to produce glutamate, two molecule of glutamate, and that's ultimately glutamate dehydrogenase enzyme to release the ammonium ion and again convert into the alpha ketoglutarate. So this ammonium ion is too much, if too much and toxic. So these arginase enzyme pick the ammonium ion and that's arginase convert into the urea. That's two nitrogen containing molecule. So the urea is less toxic but still toxic, and that is too much amount of urea will excrete from the urinary system. On the other hand, here is the pyruvate, two molecule pyruvate by the glucose 6 phosphate dehydrogenase enzyme and to produce gluconeogenesis to produce glucose, and this glucose will back into the blood. So the blood sugar will be normal if during the fasting time, and that is why the glucose will be normal because alanine glucose cycle. On the other hand, here is the metabolism. We will discuss about the metabolism. So the here is we will discuss about the catabolism. That's glycogen convert into the glucose is known as glycogenolysis, and glucose will convert into the pyruvate by the using of glycolysis. So that step is further go into the Krebs cycle to produce ATP, NADPH, and FADH2 and carbon dioxide as a byproduct. So this is the precursor for the production of more energy into the mitochondria. So this R reaction is occurring into the mitochondria after the pyruvate production. So remember about this. So this thing is known as the catabolism. Cata being breakdown of larger molecule into the smaller molecule, and the other hand, anabolism mean the smaller molecule will convert into the larger molecule is known as glycogenesis. So as the glucose will convert into the glycogen by the one by one picking of the glucose is convert into the chain like structure is known as glycogen. That is also known as animal star is known as glycogenesis. So all thing is done here, and now here we will discuss about the excess. Basically alanine is the non-essential amino acid which body make itself by the metabolism. So excess ammonium ion with excrete from liver in the form of urea. So the urea is less toxic. Why? Because ammonium ion required more water for excretion into the urinary system. So here is the excess ammonium will be excrete from the liver in the form of urea, and that's urea is two nitrogen containing compound, that is the larger compound, and that's anabolic pathway in the urea cycle to produce urea. And that's ammonia required 500 ml water for excrete 1 gram of ammonia into the urinary system. So that is not good for human body or animal, but fish can excrete ammonium because excess of water. On the other hand, urea required 50 ml per gram water for excretion of 1 gram of urea. On the other hand, uric acid is 1 ml water required for the 1 gram of uric acid. So that's important to urea excrete. So thanks